Today, the County of Henrico is intentionally poisoning more than 300,000 residents with a dangerous acid. This acid is called hydrofluorosilicic acid. Notice the sign. It says danger, poison, do not take internally. This is an extremely caustic acid that, when spilled, will eat a hole through concrete. A source tells me that it was the Board of Supervisors who decided to start adding hydrofluorosilicic acid, commonly called fluoride, to the community water supply at the end of 2024 after they had already received information that hydrofluorosilicic acid is a well-known neurotoxin. Here's a speech I gave to the board on March 11th, 2025. County Manager, Honorable Board of Supervisors, I am here to talk to you about consent. Last weekend, I was outside talking to a neighbor about the fluoride in the community drinking water. I told her that fluoride is not used to treat the water, but rather the person for the purpose of making one's teeth harder. I went on to explain that the FDA considers fluoride a drug when it's added to the water supply, which means that we are all being drugged without our consent. Turns out that this neighbor was very familiar with fluoride because she used to be a dental hygienist. She told me that she was against fluoride treatments in her practice. Then she went on to say that she doesn't think the county's fluoridated water, she doesn't drink the county's fluoridated water because there is no such thing as a fluoride deficiency. I asked her if she was for or against community water fluoridation, and to my surprise, she said she was for the fluoride despite not ingesting it herself. I asked her why she was for the county mass medicating the public with fluoride against their will. She explained to me that we must drug everyone in the community in order to target the poor people who don't know to brush their teeth. I responded by saying that I grew up fairly poor in the city of Richmond, where we didn't have running water, electricity, or even food at times. And then when I was in my 20s, I lived in a tent on and off for 2 years. So I know a thing or two about being poor. My poor family didn't want fluoride in the water, and neither did my poor neighbors, my poor friends, or the poor homeless that I've known throughout my life. In fact, we hated the local government for making it harder for us poor people to have to go out and buy fluoride-free water. But despite my rebuttal, my neighbor kept insisting that the County of Henrico must target poor people, particularly poor Black people. It was at this moment in the conversation that I realized that she thought poor people were stupid people, and stupid people must be targeted with fluoridated water because they don't know that they need to brush their teeth every day. What's ironic is that fluoride lowers your IQ, so all those stupid people that she wanted to target with fluoridated water will just keep getting dumber with every glass of water they drink. Even so, my neighbor insisted we must target poor people with fluoride. I thought she doesn't care what poor people want, so let me come at this from a different angle. I said to her, shouldn't we have individualized medicine? Meaning if we have 100 people, but only 5 people want fluoride, then just give 5 people the fluoride and leave everyone else alone. She didn't care. She said, you must drug everyone in order to save the few. This is extremely disturbing for obvious reasons. This would be like saying, let's start adding little blue pills into the public drinking water because 10% of the men who got the COVID shots now
have a floppy disk instead of a hard drive. If this sounds ridiculous, absurd, or slightly offensive, that's because it is. And so is the fact that Henrico is drugging everyone with fluoride for the less than 1% of these so-called stupid, poor people who don't know how to brush their teeth. Lastly, the government has never established a safe level of fluoride. So please stop medicating the masses against their will with the hydrofluorosilicic acid, commonly known as fluoride. I do not consent, not even a little bit, no matter how rich or poor I may be. Thank you.
Chair, next speaker.